welcome to Beginner Bakes. I am Jay, and today we are going to be baking one of my favorite things, one of the most delicious things, and that is these peanut butter cookies. So these delicious, soft, decadent peanut butter cookies are what we're going to be learning how to bake today. If you want to learn how to bake these, just keep on watching. Here we go. So this is Beginner Bake. So this channel is really about how to do things the simplest way to get the best result. The beginner way. I'm not a baking expert, but I love to bake, and I know a lot of y'all are like me, so I like to make things as simple as possible. Okay, so really 9 times out of 10 we just be using one bowl. So in this video we'll be using one bowl. So the very first thing we need is 1/2 cup of butter. Now a 1/2 cup of butter is the same thing as a stick of butter. Now my stick of butter is a little bit hard and chunky. It's not chunky, but it's, you know, butter be chunky, but it's not as room temperature as it needs to be. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this in the microwave for about 10 seconds. So now this butter is about room temperature, give or take a little bit. I'm just gonna go ahead and slide that into the bowl. Now I'm gonna go ahead and go in with 1/2 cup of creamy peanut butter. Now you can use crunchy too if that's, you know, what you like. Me, I love crunchy peanut butter, but I don't like peanuts like that in my peanut butter cookies. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use creamy peanut butter. You know what? I need a real spoon. I need a real spoon. So this is always the hardest part, is like putting it in there with the peanut butter. So I think I got my 1/2 cup right here. Pretty sure. Gonna go ahead and take my 1/2 cup spatula, dump it into my bowl. You go ahead and put the peanut butter in with the butter. And sometimes you guys will see, I'm gonna give you a phone view. Look at this. Make sure I scrape all of the peanut butter. Now, I have a hand mixer. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my hand mixer and start mixing this stuff up. And I usually do that on like the lowest setting, because we don't need peanut butter spread around here everywhere. Okay, so now that everything is all mixed up, I'm gonna go ahead and add in some regular sugar. So granulated sugar right here. A little bit of that. It's gonna actually be 1/2 cup. Measuring cup. Make sure it's 1/2 cup. My least favorite thing is clumps of sugar. I don't like that. I hate clumps of sugar. It always feels like it messes everything up. Okay, so that's perfectly 1/2 cup. So I'm gonna throw it in here. Boom. I'm not gonna stir it yet. I'm gonna go ahead in with also 1/2 cup of brown sugar. Brown sugar is a little different, so let me get a spoon. I got some measuring spoons right here, so let me just use a tablespoon. Just kind of dump some sugar in here. Get 1/2 cup, like I said. Try not to do too much, because I don't want to make my cookies way too sweet, because the peanut butter flavor is just everything, especially with those peanut butter chips we're gonna add. Just makes that flavor so delicious. I don't want to make it too sugary, so where I can't even taste the things I need to taste. So just 1/2 cup of brown sugar. Throw that in like that. By the next video, I will have a clear bowl. I promise. I will have a clear bowl, so you have a clear view. Now I'm gonna add just 1 egg. I know I took all my eggs out here just to be extra, but we just need 1. Just make sure you don't get any shell in it. Just 1 egg. Bam. Now we're gonna add in some vanilla. You can do 1 teaspoon of vanilla, but I like to do 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. I like extra vanilla. Just a little bit. 1 teaspoon. Anybody like me, I'm like like so paranoid that I'm gonna accidentally put in a tablespoon instead of a teaspoon because I have done that before, and that will shake your world. So now that all of the liquidy ingredients are in here, I'm gonna go ahead with my hand mixer and mix it in. Okay, so I almost forgot to preheat my oven. Let me go ahead and do that so I'm not sitting here all day waiting for the oven to preheat. I'm gonna go ahead and put it at 350 degrees. So yeah. Now we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of cornstarch. And plop. Boom, 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 boom. Now I'm gonna add in a half a teaspoon of baking soda. I'm also gonna add in a half teaspoon of baking powder. I need a mic, I know. Bam. Now we're gonna go ahead and add a little bit of salt. A little bit of salt, okay? A little bit, okay? It's gonna be the same. It's gonna be 1/2 teaspoon. And of course I get the, you know, the regular one. Just add some of that in there. Boom, boom, boom. Now I'm gonna go ahead and mix this all up with the hand mixer. And this is my last time using the hand mixer because after this we're gonna add the flour. Now let me unplug it. Take a little bit of this off. I always feel like I'm wasting so much when like this is coated in whatever I'm baking. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I always feel like I wish I could just get it completely clean by like, you know, hitting on the side of things, but I know that's not realistic. I don't know if y'all can see it, but when you're done, it's gonna be a really thick consistency. Let me show y'all. As you can see, it looks really thick. It's light in color, it's hearty, you know, it's not super thin. And now we're gonna go ahead and add in the flour. So we're gonna add 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Add in 1 whole cup of that. I feel like I'm gonna spill this everywhere. I just have a feeling. Let me get a spoon, y'all. I like to do, I know this takes forever to do it like this, but like this time, like I would prefer to do it. I wanna pour it because I feel like that looks better, but I like to use my spoon and just kind of shovel it in there like this. Seems so much easier to me. About a cup, almost a cup. I don't like to add too much flour. And these cookies are gonna be so soft and gooey. So we add flour. And now I'm gonna go ahead and use my J spatula that's covered in peanut butter. And I'm gonna, let me show you guys with my handy dandy phone cam like this. I'm gonna kind of fold it in like so. You can see that. Just fold it in. By the time I do my next video, the bowl will be clear. And the oven is still preheating. This is what I don't like. I like for it to be heated. I like for the oven to be heated by the time I'm like about to be done. But we still have some things to do, so it's just that when it's done before, when the oven is preheated before I finished mixing everything, I also feel like rushed as well. So there's also that. So let me just be thankful. And it should be really, really obviously doughy and thick. So it should look just like this. Now we're gonna go ahead and add 1 cup. Here goes the oven. Now I feel rushed. Now we're gonna go ahead and add 1 cup of peanut butter chips. Not chocolate chips. I mean, you can add chocolate chips if you like. If you like chocolate chip peanut butter cookies, I guess you can do that. That probably would be really nice. But we're gonna add 1 cup of, or however many you want really. Like, I don't really care to go by. I'm gonna just actually, I'm not gonna let it, I'm just gonna dump this in here. I'm not ready for it until it looks right to me. And just stir it. I just like to have a lot of peanut butter chips. It looks like there's gonna be a peanut butter chip in every bite. That's how I do it. Just dump it. If you're not sure, just do a cut with the foam cam. Add a little bit more. Looks good to me. Looks like it's pretty good to me. See a little bit more in there. And that is your dough. She is done. Looks so good. Smells so good. Peanut butter cookies, I love the smell of peanut butter cookies. I think it's just such a warm, homey, just pleasant smell. Okay, so I've washed my hands. I'm ready to dig into getting these cookies together. I don't have a cookie scoop or an ice cream scoop or whatever. I just have a tablespoon, and that's usually what I use to scoop up cookies, is a tablespoon like this. It's round enough, I feel like it works perfectly fine. And I also do not have parchment paper, which you should have, and line your pan with parchment paper. I don't have that. So what we're gonna do is, and I don't have cookies for either. So what we're gonna do is, this is beginner bake, so we don't have all of the baking things that we need. But what I do have is I have some butter. So we're gonna go ahead and grease this pan with a little bit of butter. It's gonna be just fine. That's what I'm gonna do. Slide it down like this. Butter. If you don't have parchment paper like me, just make sure you butter the pan. Now I'm gonna go in with this tablespoon. I'm gonna scoop up a good amount like this. And usually it comes right out, but for y'all it's not coming right out. But I just place it right here. I just like to place them about 2 inches, or about 1 inch or 2 apart, something like that. Combine into one big cookie, which honestly would not be such a bad thing. But let's just plop that like that. You could also just like make balls with your hand, obviously, and roll it, just stuff like that. But I feel like this makes them really circular and like pretty, whatever. If you care about that, it's really not that serious. Also, the tablespoon thing, it like makes them like the same size as well. So now I'm gonna go ahead and plop these in the oven. I bake these for about 8 to 9 minutes, about how long I bake them. I wanted them a little bit more crunchy, so like I put it back in the oven for a little bit. But if you want them really ooey, gooey, and soft, you can take them out like about 8 minutes, and voila! Here you have delicious peanut butter cookies. So good. And if you have parchment paper to line, it will stop the bottom from being as brown as mine. But these are so good. They're really soft. All you need is a glass of milk and so good. That was the recipe. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure that you like this video. If you liked it, make sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think. And make sure that you subscribe to the channel. That's all, folks. Bye.